Astrakhan is a city in southern European Russia and the administrative center of Astrakhan Oblast. The city lies on two banks of the Volga River, close to where it discharges into the Caspian Sea at an altitude of 28 meters below sea level. As of the 2010 census, its population was 520,339. Up from 504,501 recorded in the 2002 census and 509,210 recorded in the 1989 census. The oldest economic and cultural center of the Lower Volga, it is often called the southernmost outpost of Russia and the Caspian capital. The city is a member of the Eurasian Regional Office of the World Organization United Cities and Local Governments. Its population is diverse and includes 100 ethnicities and 14 religious denominations. The city is located in the upper part of the Volga Delta, on 11 islands of the Caspian Depression. The distance to Moscow by road is 1,411 kilometers. History = Medieval history = Astrakhan is situated in the Volga Delta, which is rich in sturgeon and exotic plants. The fertile area formerly contained the capitals of Khazaraya and the Golden Horde. Astrakhan itself was first mentioned by travelers in the early 13th century as Ksasi-Tagzan. Tamerlane burnt it to the ground in 1395. From 1459 to 1556, Ksasi-Tagzan was the capital of Astrakhan Khanate. The ruins of this medieval settlement were found by archaeologists 12 kilometers upstream from the modern-day city. In 1556, the Khanate was conquered by Ivan the Terrible, who had a new fortress, or Kremlin, built on a steep hill overlooking the Volga in 1558. This year is traditionally considered to be the foundation of the modern city. In 1569, during the Russo-Turkish War, Astrakhan was besieged by the Ottoman army, which had to retreat in disarray. A year later, the Great Sultan renounced his claims to Astrakhan, thus opening the entire Volga River to Russian traffic. In the 17th century, the city was developed as a Russian gate to the Orient. Many merchants from Armenia, Safavid Persia, Mughal India and Khiva Khanate settled in the town, giving it a cosmopolitan character. Modern history For 17 months in 1670 Euro 1671, Astrakhan was held by Stenka Razin and his Cossacks. Early in the following century, Peter the Great constructed a shipyard here and made Astrakhan the base for his hostilities against Persia, and later in the same century Catherine the Great accorded the city important industrial privileges. The city rebelled against the Tsar once again in 1705, when it was held by the Cossacks under Kundrat Bulavin. A Kalmuk Khan laid an abortive siege to the Kremlin several years prior to that. In 1711, it became the seat of a governorate, whose first governors included Artemy Petrovich Volensky and Vasily Nikitic Tatishkov. 6 years later, Astrakhan served as a base for the first Russian venture into Central Asia. It was granted town status in 1717. In 1702, 1718 and 1767, it suffered severely from fires. In 1719 it was plundered by the Safavid Persians. And in 1830, cholera killed much of the populace. Astrakhan's Kremlin was built from the 1580s to the 1620s from bricks pillaged at the site of Sarai-Burk. Its two impressive cathedrals were consecrated in 1700 and 1710, respectively. Built by masters from Yaroslavl, they retain many traditional features of Russian church architecture, while their exterior decoration is definitely Baroque. In March 1919, after a failed workers' revolt against Bolshevik rule, thousands of people were executed by the Shika under orders from Sergei Kirov. Some victims had stones tied around their necks and were thrown into the Volga. During Operation Barbarossa, the German invasion of the Soviet Union in 1941, the AA line running from Astrakhan to Arkhangelsk was to be the eastern limit of German military operation and occupation. The plan was never effected, as Germany captured neither the two cities nor Moscow. In the autumn of 1942, the region to the west of Astrakhan became one of the easternmost points in the Soviet Union reached by the invading German Wehrmacht, during Case Blue, the offensive which led to the Battle of Stalingrad. light armored forces of German Army Group A made brief scouting missions as close as 100 kilometers to the city before withdrawing. In the same period, the Luftwaffe attacked the city, flying several air raids and bombing the city's oil terminals and harbor installations. In 1943, Astrakhan was made the seat of a Soviet oblast with the RSFSR, which was maintained as a national province of the independent Russian Federation in the 1991 administrative reshuffle after the dismemberment of the Soviet Union. Mayoral election of 2012. After fraud was alleged in the mayoral election of 2012 and the United Russia candidate was declared the winner, organizers of the 2011 Euro 2012 Russian protests supported the defeated candidate, Oleg Vyshein of Just Russia, in a hunger strike. Substantial evidence of fraud was cited by the protesters, but an official investigation failed to find significant violations. The activists from Moscow found it difficult to gain traction over the issue with local residents who, like most Russians, accept political corruption as a given that is useless to protest. The emissaries from Moscow persisted, buoyed by celebrities who support the reform movement, drawing 5,000 to a rally on April 14. Administrative and municipal status. Astrakhan is the administrative center of the oblast. Within the framework of administrative divisions, it is incorporated as the city of Oblast. Significance of Astrakhan, an administrative unit with the status equal to that of the districts. As a municipal division, the city of Oblast. Significance of Astrakhan is incorporated as Astrakhan Urban Okrug. Religion. Astrakhan is the archiepiscopal see of one of the metropolitanates and eparchies of the Russian Orthodox Church, its only other suffragan being Akhtubinsk. Climate. Astrakhan features a temperate continental Uralian semi-arid climate with cold winters and hot summers. Astrakhan is one of the driest cities in Europe. Rainfall is scarce but relatively evenly distributed throughout the course of the year with, however, more precipitation in the hot season, which determines the Uralian type. It is this even distribution of rainfall and the relatively low annual temperature that causes the city to fall under this climate category as opposed to an arid climate. Winters tend to be cold in the city, though by Russian standards, Astrakhan features relatively balmy winters. Summers in the city can be hot, with high temperatures in excess of +40 degrees Celsius. The mean annual temperature amplitude is thus equal to 29.2 degrees Celsius in July and 3.6 degrees Celsius in January, so the climate is truly continental. Determines continental climates, while in semi-continental climates amplitudes vary between 18 degrees Celsius and 21 degrees Celsius. Spring and fall are basically transitional seasons between summer and winter. The summers are much hotter than found further west on similar parallels in Europe and worldwide for the 46th parallel. Education. Astrakhan has 5 institutions of higher education. Most prominent among these are Astrakhan State Technical University and Astrakhan State University. Transportation. Naromanovo Airport The city is served by Naromanovo Airport, named after Soviet Azerbaijani politician Nariman Narimanov. It is managed by OAO Airport Astrakhan. After its reconstruction and the building of the international sector, opened in February 2011, Naromanovo Airport is one of the most modern regional airports in Russia. There are direct flights between Astrakhan and Aktu, Istanbul, St. Petersburg and Moscow. Train connections. Astrakhan is linked by rail to the north, the east and the south. There are direct trains to Moscow, Volgograd, St. Petersburg, Baku, Kiev, Brest and other towns. Local transport. Astrakhan no longer has a tramway system. Public local transport is mainly provided by trolleybuses, buses and minibuses, which is called marshrutkas. Symbol of Azerbaijani-Russian friendship, due to shared Caspian borders, Astrakhan recently has been playing a big role in the relations of both counties as Azerbaijani government has been heavily investing into the well-being of the city. Astrakhan has recently begun to symbolize the friendship nature of both countries. In 2010 a bridge was constructed with donations from Azerbaijan which was named Bridge of Friendship. Moreover, Azerbaijani government sponsored a secondary school number 11 which carries the name of the national leader Haydar Aliyev as well as the children entertainment center named Dream. Apart from that, a park has been built in the center of Astrakhan which is dedicated to friendship between the two countries. In the last 5 years Astrakhan has been visited by top Azerbaijani delegations on several occasions. Notable people: Boris Kustordiev, painter; Joseph D. Nika, naturalist and anthropologist; Elia Ulyanov, father of Alexander Ulyanov and Vladimir Lenin; Renat Desaev, association football player; Mazia Davudova, actress; Volodymyr Klubnikov, poet; Emilia Turi, handball player; Andrei Belyanin, science fiction writer; Dmitry Dyazov, actor; Vasily Tredyakovsky, academic, poet, translator; Tamara Malashkina, soprano; Valeria Bazova, soprano; Maria Miksakova, senior, opera singer. Twin towns and sister cities. Astrakhan is twinned with Sari, Mazandaran Province, Iran; Rasht, Jilin Province, Iran; Ahmedabad, Gujarat, India; Ataru, Kazakhstan; Brest, Belarus; Grand Popo, Benin; Ljubljana, Slovenia; Islamabad, Pakistan. References. Notes. Sources. THTH 3/4 NN florin THTH degree N euro NN TH squared TH micron TH 1/2 TH 1/2 TH degree N TH N florin TH 1/4 TH degree TH NN on euro TH degree N TH degree TH 1/2 N TH TH 3/4 TH to the first TH 3/4 TH plus or minus TH TH degree NN TH 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 degree TH TH 3/4 TH 1/2 a minus 67 2006 TH 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 3/4 N 4 TH 3/4 TH N on TH plus or minus N euro N 2006 TH cubed. A TH plus or minus TH degree TH TH 1/4 TH TH 1/2 TH NN on euro TH degree N TH TH squared TH 1/2 TH 3/4 N TH micron N euro TH N TH 3/4 N euro TH TH degree TH noeth 1/2 TH 3/4 TH 1/4 N florin NN on euro TH 3/4 TH to the first NN TH squared TH micron TH NN on euro TH degree N TH degree TH 1/2 N TH TH 3/4 TH to the first TH 3/4 TH plus or minus TH TH degree NN TH a TH squared N euro TH micron TH 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 degree TH TH 3/4 TH 1/2 TH degree a minus 21 2015 TH 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 3/4 N 2 TH degree TH N euro TH micron TH N 2015 TH cubed. A TH N euro TH micron TH 3/4 TH plus or minus N euro TH degree TH TH 3/4 TH squared TH degree TH 1/2 TH 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 1/4 N florin TH 1/2 TH N TH 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 degree TH noeth 1/2 N on TH 3/4 TH plus or minus N euro TH degree TH TH 3/4 TH squared TH degree TH 1/2 TH TH to the first TH TH degree TH TH 1/4 TH TH 1/2 TH NN on euro TH degree N TH TH squared TH 1/2 TH 3/4 N TH micron N euro TH N TH 3/4 N euro TH TH degree TH noeth 1/2 N on TH micron TH 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 1/2 TH N TH on florin TH TH degree N euro TH TH 1/2 N TH 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 to the first N TH micron TH no N TH 3/4 TH squared TH micron N TH 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 3/4 N TH N euro TH micron N TH micron TH 1/2 TH 3/4 TH squared N TH 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 to the first N TH micron TH no N TH 3/4 TH squared th micron nth squared th 1/2 th micron nth micron th 1/2 th 1/4 th micron th 1/2 th micron th 1/2 th to the first th squared th 3/4 nth micron th noeth 1/2 nth micron th degree th 3/4 th 1/2 th 3/4 th degree nth micron th noeth 1/2 nth micron th degree thn on thn on euro th degree nth degree th 1/2 nth th 3/4 th to the first th 3/4 th plus or minus th degree nth a th on florin th squared nth n florin th 3/4 th nth micron nth micron th 1/2 th 10 th 1/2 th micron th to the first nth 3/4 th 1/2 nth 3/4 nth degree th noeth 1/2 th 3/4 th cubed th 3/4 th 3/4 th n florin th plus or minus th 3/4 th squared th degree th 1/2 th n florin th plus or minus th 3/4 th squared th degree th 1/2 th plus or minus th 3/4 n euro th 1/2 th degree th 3/4 th 1/2 th 3/4 th squared th 1/2 th 3/4 n euro th 1/4 th degree nth squared th 1/2 n on n euro th degree th squared th 3/4 th squared n on degree thn 3/4 th squared thn on euro th degree nth degree th 1/2 nth 3/4 th to the first th 3/4 th plus or minus th degree nth a minus 47 19 th 3/4 thn on plus or minus n euro n 2006 th cubed th 3/4 n florin th degree n euro n nth squared th micron th 1/2 th degree nth n florin th 1/4 th degree thn on euro th degree n degree th 1/2 nth 3/4 th to the first th 3/4 th plus or minus th degree nth degree th 3/4 th 1/2 a minus 43 2004 th 3/4 n 6 th degree th squared th cubed n florin n nth degree 2004 th cubed a th plus or minus n florin n nth degree th 1/2 th 3/4 th squared th micron th 1/2 th cubed n euro th degree th 1/2 th nth 1/4 n florin th 1/2 th nth degree th noeth 1/2 n on th 3/4 th plus or minus n euro th degree th 3/4 th squared th degree th 1/2 th to the first th 1/2 th degree th micron th micron th 1/2 th nth degree n on florin nth 3/4 th 1/4 nth micron th no nth 3/4 th cubed th 3/4 th cubed th 3/4 n euro th 3/4 th nth 3/4 th cubed th 3/4 th 3/4 nth micron th micron th 1/2 thn th cubed th 3/4 n euro th 3/4 th nth 3/4 th cubed th 3/4 th 3/4 th n euro n florin th cubed th degree th 1/4 n florin th 1/2 th nth degree th noeth 1/2 th 3/4 th cubed th 3/4 n euro th degree th to the first th 3/4 th 1/2 th degree th squared n euro th micron th degree th 3/4 th 1/2 th degree a minus 21 2015 th th 3/4 n 2 th degree th n euro th micron th n 2015 th cubed. A th n euro th micron th 3/4 th plus or minus n euro th degree th 3/4 th squared th degree th 1/2 th 1/4 n florin th 1/2 th n th degree th noeth 1/2 n on th 3/4 th plus or minus n euro th degree th 3/4 th squared th degree th 1/2 th to the first th degree th 1/4 th 1/2 th n on euro th degree n th squared th 1/2 th 3/4 n th micron n euro th n th 3/4 n euro th degree th noeth 1/2 n on th micron th 1/2 th n th on florin th degree n euro th 1/2 n th to the first n th micron th no n th 3/4 th squared th micron n th 3/4 n th n euro th micron n th micron th 1/2 th 3/4 th squared n th to the first n th micron th no n th 3/4 th squared th micron n th squared th 1/2 th micron n th micron th 1/2 th 1/4 th micron th 1/2 th micron th 1/2 th to the first th squared th 3/4 n th micron th noeth 1/2 n th micron th degree th 3/4 th 1/2 th 3/4 th degree n th micron th noeth 1/2 n th micron th degree th n on th n on euro th degree n th degree th 1/2 n th 3/4 th to the first th 3/4 th plus or minus th degree n n th a th on n on florin th squared n th n florin n th micron n euro th micron th 10 th 1/2 th micron th to the first n th 3/4 th 1/2 n th 3/4 n th degree th noeth 1/2 th 3/4 th cubed th 3/4 th 3/4 th n florin th plus or minus th 3/4 th squared th degree th 1/2 th n florin th plus or minus th 3/4 th squared th degree th 1/2 th n on euro th degree n th degree th 1/2 n th micron th squared th micron n n th n a minus 34. 12 th degree th squared th cubed n florin n n th degree 2004 th cubed th 3/4 n euro th 3/4 th n th 3/4 th to the first th 3/4 th squared th micron n th cubed th 3/4 n euro th 3/4 th degree th n on euro th degree n th degree th 1/2 th micron n th 1/2 th micro a minus 52/th degree th 3/4 n 6 th n 2004 th cubed a q n th degree th squared th 1/4 n florin th 1/2 th n th degree th noeth 1/2 th 3/4 th cubed th 3/4 th 3/4 th plus or minus n euro th degree th 3/4 th squared th degree th 1/2 th n th 3/4 n euro th 3/4 th n on euro th degree n th degree th 1/2 no th squared n euro th micron th micron n th micron th 1/2 th n a minus 26 th 3/4 n 16 th degree th n euro th micron th n 2015 th cubed A th squared th 1/2 th micron nth micron th 1/2 th th 1/4 th micron th 1/2 th micron th 1/2 th to the first th squared th q nth degree th squared th 1/4 n florin th 1/2 th nth degree th noeth 1/2 th 3/4 th cubed th 3/4 th 3/4 th plus or minus n euro th degree th 3/4 th squared th degree th 1/2 th nth 3/4 n euro th 3/4 th n on euro th degree nth degree th 1/2 no a th n on florin th squared nth n florin th squared nth 3/4 th nth squared th micron n on nth squared th nth 3/4 n nth degree n no nth to the first 96 th n florin th plus or minus th 3/4 th squared th degree th 1/2 th 3/4 n euro th 3/4 th paragraph th degree th 1/2 th 1/2 a minus 47 20 th degree th squared th cubed n florin n nth degree 2004 th cubed th 3/4 n euro th 3/4 th nth 3/4 th to the first th 3/4 th squared th micron nth cubed th 3/4 n euro th 3/4 th degree th n on euro th degree nth degree th 1/2 th micron nth micron th 1/2 th micro a minus 123 th 3/4 n 1 th 1/2 th 3/4 nth plus or minus n euro n 2000 th cubed. A th plus or minus n florin nth squared th micron n euro th paragraph th micron th 1/2 th cubed th 1/4 th 1/2 th degree th cubed th 3/4 n euro th 3/4 th degree th n on euro th degree nth degree th 1/2 tha. External links: official website of Astrakhan, photos and sites of Astrakhan, old photos of Astrakhan.